someone calls. Then I pick, say hello, she disconnects. But now WhatsApp pops up and I press and check. Ooh. Yeah, I saw a woman sending him nudes. Actually, these women are my fellow church people. And they are people I know. And he starts making his calls because to the girlfriend. That does not augur well with me. So I ask him, yes, in the house where I am. So I asked,
what kind of conversation were they having?
They were flirting. Yes.
In your presence?
See, I'm pregnant. That's that time side. This guy beat me until I passed out. I'm pregnant, I passed out.
Hello Tuko family, my name is Kengori Wangeshi. Welcome to this episode of My Story. And on today's episode, our guest, Ruth, will share with us how outside there, they were an ideal couple, but inside the house, she endured beatings and threats from her husband. This is Ruth's story. Ruth?
Yes.
Welcome to Tuko.
Thank you.
We hear your story. We like listening to people and share as they share what they're going through and see how our audience can walk with you this journey. First of all, introduce yourself to our audience. Who is Ruth?
Okay. I'm Ruth Amondi. I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 2 boys. Actually, one turned 15 years yesterday.
Okay. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
And the small one is autistic. So basically that is my life. I'm my family setup. And I'm married. Yes. I am a certified personnel management. I have certification in personnel management and still a student for nursing. And also I have good experience when it comes to customer service.
Hey, you do quite a lot.
Yeah, sometimes you have, because you have to make ends meet at times. So yes. Yeah. So basically that's me.
We're here because you've made headlines and we won't go to why you've made headlines. Let's listen to your story. We're here to discuss what led to you making headlines, because I'm sure some of the people watching have seen you somewhere on video clips in court. We'll not discuss the matters in court. Let's talk about your marriage.
Okay.
How did you meet your man?
I'm a Seventh-day Adventist lady. I met my man in church. Actually, in a choir setup. So we both met in church, and that is my church. He'd come to my church, and he trains people how to sing the choir and all that. So he'd come to train our choir, and I was a choir member. So we knew each other for some months. Then we got married. We planned for a wedding. What
do you mean? We knew each other for some months. How was your dating period? Your dating phase? Dating and courtship. Okay. So this is someone I just knew for a few months, because I met him in February. And October we did our wedding. I was staying in my father's house. I was working. I was okay though. For him, he was not employed. He didn't have a job. So I used to support him, because me niko kwa baba yangu, I'm in my father's house, and my father doesn't need my money. Yeah, so I felt like this is someone I've met in a church. This is someone, the few times I've known him, I've not seen any flaws on him, anything that is negative. And when he proposed marriage, I took that to my parents. And luckily, I can say I have good parents, receptive ones, because they are always like, whoever you bring to us, that is whom we'll welcome, because it's you who's going to stay with them. Yes.
And it's you who love them. So when I introduced him to them, they welcomed him as a son, because I'm the firstborn daughter in our family after 3 boys. So since he didn't have a job, Dad had to get him something to do. because he felt like if I'm the only one who's going to provide for this family, probably it will be strenuous. And he's a man.
Yes.
We need to just do something. He got him a job. So by the time we guys were doing our wedding, at least he had something to do. So
I want to ask, was it love at first sight? If you met for those few months and decided that we're going to settle down, was it love at first sight?
I think it was. If I sit down and think about it, he's a good-looking man. We say tall, dark, and handsome. He is a good-looking man.
Yes.
He's also talented. So probably maybe yes, but he approached me. So with him, I don't know what he saw, but that is what I saw.
Okay.
And the fact that this is someone who knows God, you know.
In church.
Yeah, in church. So I felt it was a safe space for me.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why when he said, let's do a wedding, it was easy. Actually, we didn't want a big white wedding. We just wanted like a small wedding, like you can come to church on a Sabbath because we are SDAs. We have that option. You can either do your wedding on Sunday, a big white wedding, or you just come to church, you prayed for, you sign your certificates, and that's it. So we wanted that. But our people, their church, told you he's a choir trainer, so lots of people love him. Were not for that. They said, hey, you guys, you need to do a big wedding.
Did it pressure you as a couple then, when now the society tells you that you must do a big wedding? Was it some sort of pressure to you?
For me personally, I didn't feel any pressure. Maybe because I was young and naive, I was only 21. Or maybe I didn't have a bigger picture. You know, if older people than I say that you guys need to do X, Y, Z, I mean, probably they've seen something and they've seen the capability, how we can just do it and it works.
Okay.
So we went for that, planned for the wedding.
How was it? How was your wedding?
The wedding was okay. It was good. Yes.
Did you enjoy as the bride?
I did. I did. Because, you know, I never enjoyed this stage of, you know, nowadays I see people say, I live alone. No. For me, I was going to school, coming back to my father's house, going to work, coming back to my father's house.
Then you left and now went to your own house.
From my father's house to my house.
Yes.
So it was, I think it was a good thing. And with our generation, I felt, yeah, I think I've done my parents proud. It's a good thing. So after vows, we went to wherever and came back. Now life has to start. So it was smooth. I got my first born in 2010. Yeah, the one who turned now 15 yesterday.
Yes.
So we proceeded. So as we were moving on, he started showing me another side of him.
After how long?
First year.
First year of marriage?
Yeah, towards the end of the first year in marriage. I started noticing, you know, when you're married now, your phones are open, tunapendana. I can access your phone, you can access mine, you can receive calls and all that. So there's a time someone calls. Then I pick, say hello, she disconnects. But now WhatsApp pops up and I press and check. Ooh, yeah, I saw a woman sending him nudes. And I was like, okay. Sawa. I kept quiet because
you did not confront him.
No. I have a habit that I usually keep quiet. I love being quiet. And that was me. Even when he was marrying me, it was a worry to him because he talks, he can really talk. So he used to tell me, you know, in Luo, if you marry a woman who does not talk, they tend to think that she doesn't love people. Akona madharau. She's mean. So he used to tell me, learn how to talk, because people at home will say that you're not a good person. You don't love them. So if you live with a talkative person, you'll learn how to talk. So I've been learning. So I didn't confront him, but I talked to our pastor. There was a mentor pastor who was so close to us and worked with us those months before the wedding. So he told me, maybe those are the exes. Just take time. You guys are still knowing each other. Things will be well. It happens like that in the first years of marriage. So
It might happen within 3 years, 5 years, just learn each other. So I said, fine.
And you didn't ask him?
No, I never asked him. So that continued, and now the next time I saw that, it was a text. So meaning it was a conversation ongoing, but the fact that he'd come to the house and he was charging the phone, so it was not. So the girl was maybe, why are you not responding? So I went to the bedroom. It popped again. I just pressed on it. Remember, we are just free people. You can access my phone, I can access yours. So I check, and it's an entire conversation. So I sit down and start reading. So that is year 2, because I realized this when we are ending the year, year 1. So I went and asked him, you never told your exes you're married. Then he asked me why. Then I tell him, the things I see on your phone. So he twists me the way he twisted me. Then we proceeded. Remember, I was married at 21, so 22, I'm still naive. And I'm pregnant. So I go ahead, go to my work. He does his own things. But when I was after delivering my first child, now this man becomes worse. So he puts passwords, and I ask him, why are you doing that? He starts telling me he's a man, no one should access his phone, and the only thing I can see in his phone are negative things. So I told him, okay, it's fine.
But he could access yours?
Yeah, he could. So proceeded like that, came year 3. Fortunately or unfortunately, I knew his password. So I realized this man, actually these women, are my fellow church people. Okay? They are of our denomination. And they are people I know. Okay? You know, we can be the same denomination, but I don't know you. But we can be the same one, but I know you. And you know me, and you know I'm Nani's wife.
You mean, were you in the same church?
No.
Okay.
But there are people I know, and they know me, and we've talked. There are people I've even welcomed in my own house. Okay? So I accessed it. I even accessed his Facebook. So that day I asked him, what do you really want? What is this? So before that, I used to talk to that pastor, and I used to tell my parents as well, because they're the only people I know. So I talk to them, they tell me, oh, it's still marriage. Okay, give him time. I give him time. So when it reached around the 5th year, now this man changes totally. So what he's supposed to do as a man, you know, if I'm an African woman, and my perception is, if you marry someone's daughter, or even the Bible says a man is a provider, right? So here is a scenario whereby I should be the one stepping in, and I'm not okay with that because I have a small baby. I've already given birth.
Yes.
So I ask him, where do you take your money to? What is really happening? Because we cannot lack that much and you're also working. Where? I think that is where the war began. So he talked, he told me a lot of words, nasty words. Then I said, okay, fine. I'll just do what I can do. Because, you know, when I'm breastfeeding, I don't need the stress as well for my baby to get milk. If I start stresses, then my baby will hurt. Mama will starve because there's no production of milk. Yes. So we continue like that. I was working as a customer experience executive for U Network. So you were moving because the business was not doing well in Kenya, you know, telecommunications and all that.
Yes.
So we lost our jobs. And here Ruth becomes jobless.
And she was part of the provision in the family.
Yes. Ruth becomes jobless, and now things explode because I have nothing and we have to rely on him. So with his work, he used to like travel
then come back after some days. Travel, come back after some days. So I used to tell him, you send us something. So whatever little he used to send, I used to ensure that this money, I have to plan with it so that it runs with me. Or else,
you'll suffer.
I'll see fire. So that went on. My baby grew, and I don't like sitting. So my father gets me another job. Because I used to pressure him. I know I'm married. I belong to another man. This man needs to take care of me, like naturally. But I need to do something for my own self. So I pressure my father. He gets me another different job, not in Nairobi now, but Kisumu. Remember, I'm still trying to learn this man, meaning that I'm in Kisumu 5 days a week. Then over the weekend, I have to rush back to Nairobi because I'd left my young child there. Now he's started going to school. He's in this play group. So I travel probably on Monday morning back to Kisumu, or I travel on Sunday night to Kisumu, but ensure that Friday I'm back home, so that I take care of this child. We bond. I get to understand things 1, 2, 3. I'm a married woman. So to some extent, I was also pushed again with the same company to go and oversee some project in Siaya. So I operate Siaya, I come to Kisumu, Siaya, Kisumu. And my husband started bringing issues. Oh, I'm very far, the family is young, yani a lot of, to me today when I sit down, I see these were not reasons, this man just didn't want me to work. So he brought issues, and I told my dad I'm resigning. And he told me it's fine because your husband has really complained. That I understand. I don't want him to say that it's me who's destroying his young family. So just go back to your family, it's fine. I leave my job.
Go and nurture your marriage.
Yes, I leave my job. A good woman, I go back home. So I sit there, I have nothing to do but to rely on him. We are at his mercy. So he tries, he does things that he can do. But still, you know, I'm a woman. I have my own needs. I have my own things that I need to have. And if someone is providing for us shelter, food, shelter and food, and the fee, then myself, I don't need to bombard him with everything that I want. I decide to look for a job again. So this time I get another job in Nairobi. Actually, it was an insurance job. No, it was not in Nairobi, it was in Machakos. I was taken to Machakos. So I do this insurance job, but Machakos is near Nairobi, so I commute. So I go to Machakos, come back, yes. My salary by then could manage all that and still take care of any other thing. Yeah, so I used to commute, come back. He still was not okay with this. He was like, no, where you're going, men will see you, you're exposed. I quit that job.
Yeah. This is the third job?
Yes. I quit it. I come back because it's quarrels after quarrels after quarrels. You don't have peace.
When you quit or when you leave work, do the quarrels stop?
The quarrels don't stop. I'm telling you now, it's going higher and higher. And I just used to keep quiet and look at this person because the setup I grew up in and whatever I'm meeting here in the so-called marriage, my marriage, is totally different. This one is too quarrelsome. Where I came from, it's not.
It was peaceful. So
I'm comparing these things and it hurts me. So because I don't talk and I don't talk to people, I cry.
You
cry. And life goes on. So I come back, sit down. Now he's not providing. I give him an idea. Why don't we open a business? Open a business and run with it. So he asked me, where is the money? I told him, the job you're doing, the small tokens you're given when you're going to work, because it's not deducted from your salary, can be put together, then get a partner. Then we do this thing. So it was a production business. It did well.
You started a business?
Yes. So I don't know how to film. He doesn't know how to film. but we have a friend who does. So this is the brain we have to use. So by default he becomes, yes, yes. By default, he becomes a partner in this business. So we buy machines, he does the work. He goes to work, me I remain at home. Things happen. Because I told him, why don't I be going to the studio? I be taught.
He doesn't want that.
Nenda kufanya nini? So I sat home, and recently is when I realized that sometimes he used to tell me that he's in the studio, but he's not. He's gone out with another woman and told the guy, if Ruth calls you, if my wife calls you, yeah, that time I was wife and babe. If my wife calls you, tell her I'm in the studio but busy. Kumbe jamaa is going wherever. And when I call, true to his words, that guy tells me he's here but he's busy. He's talking to clients. So yes, I won't bother. Answer sawa, fine. It's coming late, yes.
He will come back in the evening.
Yeah, I'll not lock the door, he'll come. Because that is night already, so I'm calling to get to know whether he's coming back or he's not. So it went on, and I still realized this infidelity in him. So I felt it was too much. I've talked to people, we've tried settling it down. There's a time I even left him and went back to my father's home. And intermediation was done, he came back. And I think that was the worst, because when he came back, now he became another different thing. So it was beatings. Like I talk, now he feels that the fact that I've started talking namdharau. So he started beating me up.
How do you feel when now it stopped it moved from quarrels to now beatings?
It was not a good thing, but remember, they're telling us, mnajuana. You're still learning each other. So I tell my parents and my brothers. And my brother comes, talks to him. So with him he says, at it's me namdharau. Because I've asked. He's used to the Ruth who keeps quiet. But now the Ruth who wants to ask, then he feels maybe nataka kubishana naye. So my brother says, you guys have peace, nini muishi. Then yeah, he says yes. My man can talk. My man. My man. He can really talk. He talks. So he talks, and he can say he's heard what you've said. But won't act on it. He won't. In fact, the moment you leave the door now, he turns to whoever made this person come here, and quarrels you like hell. Remember, this is in the house. Outside there, we are the best couple. Like, everyone admires us.
Really?
We go to church together. We sing together. We are babes. We are babe. Like, everyone admires our marriage. Yeah, because a woman needs to shield her marriage in every angle.
But so in the house?
The house, it's totally different. So this continued. The beatings continued. So I decided to look for another job, because I was suffering. Suffering because even the little basics I'm not having. Yet the person who's supposed to provide for me is at war with me and is not doing it. I look for a job. So when I was leaving Machakos, I had a good boss. He went to a different company. So he looked for me, called me and tells me, where are you? I'm in Nairobi. There's a job. Would you like to take it up, or you're employed somewhere? I say, no, I'm not employed. I'll take it up. He gives me everything, my JD and all that. Then he tells me, it's in Machakos.
You go back to Machakos.
I went. I want to work. I want experience. I need money. I go. My child is now around class something. So ni mkubwa. This child can be taken care of na house girl or something. So I go. I didn't go to stay there. I commute again. So I did that for some time. When I'm not working, the quarrels, yes, are there, but not as much as I'm working. When I'm working. So I start work and it's chaos because I didn't even ask him for fare. No. Even going for the interviews, I call my parents or my brothers, I tell them, hey, I've gotten this job, I need to go for the interview. Or I've gotten this job, I'm working but I've not been given a salary yet. I'm broke, I need transport. They assist me, I go. So I think this one was also bothering him maybe, but he was not seeing it. So I go start working in Machakos, kelele ni ile ile. So when there's quarreling in a house and the next day you're supposed to work and be productive, those two things can't because you quarrel me better part of the night. I'm supposed to go to Machakos very early in the morning. I just have few hours to sleep. I did it for quite a good time, over a year. Then I decided, if working is the cause of all this,
let me stop.
Let me go back home and take care of the family. So we take care. The business is also running this other side, the film business. So it's bringing some income. But now the bad thing is, I think it gave him the avenue to now to do his infidelity things the way he wants them. Because the excuse is Nico Studio. So one day another lady confronts me about him. And I ask him, what are these?
What did she tell you?
She didn't know I'm the wife. So she came telling me, stop dating my husband.
Ruth.
So I asked her, who are you? You know, in our church, we have these people who sing alone. We call them solo artists. So I just told her, that man is my husband, and we have a child. Go and ask him. So when the man came, I also asked, nilipigwa? He really beat me up and he told me to stop messing in his own businesses. So I felt this is too much. I asked him, why do you like beating me? If you don't want me, so let me go back to my father's house. Father-in-law was not desperate. Remember, I'm still in my 20s. And you're making me suffer. If I compare whatever you're taking me through, putting me through right now, and when I was in my father's house, I was fine. If you don't want me, niache. We only have one child. Now that one have again opened an avenue for beatings, he changes things that I'm abusing him. So first things first, I again realize I'm pregnant with my second born.
Yes.
That was in 2016. Yes, 2016. So I feel like I'm sick, I'm not sick, and I'm like, maybe it's the beatings. I'll just be okay.
Were they that bad?
Yeah. I have dents. So I said, let me go to the hospital. So by the time I'm becoming pregnant, 2015, I looked for another job. Luckily, I got in a call center in Nairobi now. So in a call center now, I was being told I'm dating the call center guys. So I asked him, whom am I dating? So he mentions another name and I was like, oh my God, this is even a child, like ni mdogo wangu sana. And I know the guy and we work with him. And it's me who told him about the guy because he was an IT guy. And there was a time he needed help with their laptop in the studio. So I told him, I can connect you to our IT guy in the call center. Those guys are doing a good job. Sasa akakuwa wangu. But he said, I will not quit. I'll work. So he beats me, he abuses me, I go to work. So I realized
what do you tell people when you go to work and probably you're hurt physically? I'm a very happy person. I'm very happy outside there. I'm very happy. My marriage is perfect. Okay. Out there?
Yes. Nothing is happening. We are good. We are fine. Save for the family, our family is home and their side. Any other person knows it's fine. So we are so good.
be okay. So I go, do my job, come back home to my stresses. So I sat down and told him, I'm pregnant, because that day I went to the hospital. It was too much, so I said, I go to the hospital, tests are in, and nothing, no malaria, no nothing. And the doctor says, let's do a pregnancy test. Pregnancy, okay, fine. Let's go ahead. So remember, I have my own stresses. When I'm alone, they drain me. But when I'll meet you guys, we are happy and we are very okay. So the results come back and the doctor tells me, you're pregnant. So I don't know how to react. So I start laughing because it's painful to me. Why am I pregnant in this state? Then the doctor, I think, sensed something is amiss with me. So he sat me down, talked with me. But I told him it's not my firstborn. I think he thought I was having the first one.
The first time, ma'am.
So I told him, this is my secondborn, but of course I didn't expect to be pregnant. And I'm not aborting it because it has a father. So I went back home, told him I was pregnant. Where? I was told it's someone else's child.
Not his?
No.
And yet you are performing the duties of husband and wife?
Yes. Everything. Everything. This child is the autistic child I'm talking about. It was a tough pregnancy for me. And still, he could beat me when pregnant. Yes. So I quit that job again. So by then, when I was in the call center, I was a quality analyst. I was now not operating as a customer service agent. I was a quality analyst. So with quality analyst, you listen to calls agents are making to clients. You need to analyze them. You need to do coachings, trainings. That one needs you to be right with the right mind. I didn't have that because I was heading that team. Because my senior boss had left, so I remained heading the team. And here I am, pathetic. We will not perform. You cannot tell someone to perform and you're not performing. So I resigned to go and sit home with my pregnancy. So there was a day my last born brother was at home with his friend. You know, this guy he's a people's person. So he used to welcome a lot of his friends. Like our home, haikunakosa watu. So you know, when they come, I welcome them. Nini, we are happy. So people used to love our family. So they know that home is peaceful and happy. And pia kulinji, it's a good family. It's one that we can admire. We want to be like those people.
But they don't know.
They don't. Why would they know? Who will tell them? So actually what happened this day, I was sleeping in the bedroom. I'm so heavily pregnant. So I was tired and they were in the sitting room. So he comes home and he starts making his calls because to the girlfriend. That does not go well with me. So I asked him, yes, in the house where I am. So I asked him,
what kind of conversation were they having?
They were flirting. Yes.
In your presence?
See, I'm pregnant. So I asked him, why are you doing this? So I didn't ask when I'm calm because I got angry. So I became firm. So he told me, whom are you raising your voice at? This guy beat me until I passed out. I'm pregnant, I passed out. So when I passed out, I think he panicked. And he ran to the sitting room because now that my brother was telling me afterwards. He went and called them. That he doesn't know what has happened to me. I'm not waking up. So my brother tells him, we've had you quarrel and beat him. You've actually beaten her. You've beat her and you're telling us you don't know what has happened, but let's go to the hospital. We were having a car. So they carry me, put me in the car na hiyo tumbo yangu, taken to hospital, some hospital in Nairobi. So they do their things, and I wake up. And the first person I see is him. and the doctor. So when I saw him, I panicked. I had a lot of fear. So the doctor realized something is wrong here. Then he asked, what is happening here? Then my husband talks. He said very many things, that I was tired, I fell down, I could not wake up. So he was told to step out. I remained with the doctor. So the doctor tells me, now you're okay. We'll just give you a little medication, then you just go home. Then I tell him, I don't want to go home with that man. I don't want. Then he asks me why. I tell him this guy has beaten me, and that's why I think I'm here. I don't want. I want to go to my father's home. So he talks to me, he goes and talks to him. I don't know what they said. Then they come back, the both of them. And now I'm convinced to go back with him. I tell the doctor no. Then when he comes back, he's that sweet, darling guy. Soft-spoken. He says sorry.
At the hospital?
We go back home. So that was it. It was strenuous like that. My delivery came. I went and gave birth. So I didn't have I had a smooth labor, because even the day I was going for labor to the hospital, I had guests in my own house. Guests of a group he sings with. So I was hosting them. And I tell him, whatever, I'm seeing signs, it's kinda, I'm in labor. Can we go to the hospital? Let's just go to the nearest facility, then come back. To some extent, he tended to care. I won't say he was that bad. So he tells me, no, because I'm driving, let me just take you to the hospital you always go to. So we go to Hurlingham, go to that hospital. So when I'm there, they say, oh, it's not yet, but we'll admit her. So I'm admitted there. So it worries him, because, you know, labor and in delivery. I'm the wife still, he's my husband. We are the good people out there. He stays with me. That I appreciate. He stays with me. And it's now late. Remember, the other child is at home as well with the house girl. So he tells me, there's a friend of ours who's also a nurse. So she came with us. She was singing in the same group. So she came with us to the hospital. So he told the lady, stay with her. I rush back, check on those ones, then I'll come back. So we are there with the girl, storytelling, nini. I went to the labor room. Pushed, baby comes. So my boy is born on 21st of November, a few minutes to midnight. My birthday is 22nd November. He refused to share birthday with me. He decided to come a few minutes early, but it's fine. So I gave birth, and I had something, do they call it retraction? Something went back in me and I overbled. I pushed the baby well, and now I started bleeding. I really bled. I was actually dying because I really bled and started feeling cold and turned white. So that friend tells me, my husband calls her like around 1 a.m. How is she? Then the lady tells her, she's fine. She's in the delivery room. Then I think my husband says he didn't feel comfortable. So he drove faster to the hospital. So when he came, he was brought into the delivery room. I remember seeing him. And the last thing, because I was feeling cold, I'm really shivering. I've bled now. The gyna, the good thing is I had a gyna during delivery. I have heaters, yes, I'm seeing what they are doing, because they were also talking to me so that I just don't sleep. Because if I sleep, I can sleep and sleep. So they try keeping me alert. So my husband comes in and I see him, because I'm seeing things blurry, but I see him, he's my husband, I saw him. And I told him, babe, you've come. I felt happy, but I passed out. The devil is a liar. The machines in the hospitals refused to operate because now I was to be taken to the theater so that they remove it. If it's not removed, if they can't remove, they had ways of removing it. So they had option 1, B, 3. So option 1, if it couldn't work, they'd use 2. 2 was to remove my uterus to save me, because now it was, we must save her whatsoever we must. So their operating machine in that theater was down. Now they have to take me to their other branch. Thank God it's not far, it's just within. So I'm put in the ambulance, I'm taken. Mimi, I've passed out. These are things I was told. So I'm taken, and my baby has remained in this other branch because we can't go. So he has to go to the nursery. And I understand when he was coming, he presented himself with the face. The baby comes with the head like this. So his was facial. So I don't know whether those are also part of why he's autistic. I don't know. So when I was there, he still cares. He still cares. So he's told, sign this. We are going to the theater. If we go in, we are not coming out. So you would rather sign this. If option 1 doesn't work, we remove the uterus. I think he loves me still. He says, no, you cannot remove my wife's uterus. No, you can't. You just have to do any other thing. So he refuses kabisa. The friend nurse tells him, just sign it, it's fine. They're not saying they're going to remove it, but if it does not work, they'll have to. He refuses. But the girl convinced him. Then he signs it and they go. Then the lady's a nurse. So she tells them that if you try one, before removing uterus, try this other option first. So they go. My uterus, thank God, it was not removed. So I'm in HDU for some time. Yeah, during my birthday I was in HDU. I see or HDU. Yeah, so I woke up after some days and I asked, where's my baby?
First thing you ask?
Yeah, because I was pregnant. Because when I went through all that series, every part of my body, including my own milk, dried up because my body was kind of dead. I was a cabbage. So I don't have milk in as much as I want that baby. That was another stress. But in the hospital, see, they are fed. So the baby was okay. So the day I was leaving the hospital, I was given my baby to go with. That baby cried at home. That baby cried. I don't have milk because I was just told, put him there, he'll pull, and it will come. So a worried mother, milk cannot come if you're worried. You need to be very settled in your mind. So we got options, and the baby is now grown. So the man was still okay. So now the baby starts growing. The man gets a job in a different company. So remember, I'd left that job, so I'm jobless. I'm a housewife with a baby. First year, things are okay. Again, we take care of the child. Second year now, provision becomes a problem. So of course, nimekuwa. My mind is also grown. I want us to sit down as adults and talk. He avoids, but I force. Sit down and talk. Talk, then it's like, okay, fine, I'll change, I'll do it. But he didn't do it. So it reached a point that I tell him, what do you really want? I'm a woman. You have to provide for me. Okay? You provide for other women. I've seen your M-Pesa statements. I've seen your messages, sorry. So why don't you provide for us? We go back to war zone.
He's providing to other women, except you.
Yes, I have to force him to do, in which I think should be the other way around. And when I say that, he says I'm countering him, yet I'm not providing a thing. But I can't be asking my parents to send me little money every now and then to feed us. I realize this child is growing but not talking. The journey of growth was smooth, actually. He walked at around 9 months. He was walking. But he's not talking. Because at around 6 months, he was saying, ma, ba, ba, things like that. Then it disappeared. So I became worried. But I was told, maybe it's delayed menstruation. So I was like, ataongea tu. 2 years. He's not talking. What is wrong? So mom comes, we take the baby to the hospital to check whether he's tongue-tied. If he's tongue-tied, they have to cut so that the tongue can be loose. It's not that. At 3 years, we are told, let's just wait, he'll talk. At 4 years, I feel this is it's too much. So I go to Kise. So they run their tests on him. They tell me, go and see a psychiatrist. I saw a very good psychiatrist in this big hospital in Nairobi. So she told me this child has autism and ADHD. What are those? Remember all this journey, I'm alone.
Yeah, he's not accompanying you?
He's going to work here, anafanya kazi. Even if he's in the house, he's tired, alienda job. I'm the mother. I go. So I'm told ADHD and autism. I'm like, what are those? So she explains to me, and now she gives me the letter to go back to Kise. Then they guide me on going to that hospital for therapies because it's nearer. Therapy is money. I'm not working. I go tell him, because now it's paining me as a mother. Tell him, let's help this child. Let's just try. You never know. He didn't know autism. In fact, to date, if you ask him, he'll just tell you the child has autism. Hakuna kitu ingine anajua past the autism. Hakuna. Ask him any other details. Hakuna. He's never been part and parcel of this journey. So he gives me money. Then I ask him, why don't we go together? Because I was feeling overwhelmed. This is something I've never encountered in life.
Yes.
He refused. Told me, I've given you money. I'm working to provide this money. You go. I went day one. They did for him the therapies, occupational therapy, speech. And they also ran some hearing tests. But the ears are good. So we need to go back for therapy again. It's supposed to be paid for. I ask for this money. Hey, this guy tells me, do you think I'm only working for this? I'm like, it's not me. We can go with you, pay, then you go back. Okay? He refused to give me. Then I ask a friend to give me the money. Because it's an appointment day. I take the child. When I came back, I was beaten.
Why?
Where did I get the money from? Which boyfriend of mine gave me that money? And which man wants to take care of his child?
But you're not taking care of him.
If I reason like that, I'm beaten zaidi because now namdharau, nabishana naye. So I told him, I'll give you the number, you refund that money because it was money to be refunded. He never did that. So I used to go to that hospital and also go to Kasarani Kise, take my child there. So sometimes transport is a problem. So I push him, he gives us the money for therapy, occupational therapy, and he didn't give us transport. So I said no. I stopped therapies because it's trainers on me, and if I ask, it's issues, it's not money coming out. Until there was a day I asked him. No, before he gave birth, he told me that child is not his. So this day I asked him, and this child looks like him. I asked him, why do you hate this child? Do you feel he's not your child? Or why don't you want to help him? This is just a condition that's probably outgrown. Why don't you help him? Why don't you just help him? Let's try. Let's try. Hey, that one is not for him. I stopped therapies. I sat home. So I try coaching my baby how to do stuff. My baby is 5 years, but cannot go to the potty, cannot go to the toilet, cannot talk, cannot hold a pen, cannot do anything. I decide to take this child to school. I say, maybe school will help. So I tell him we have to take this child to school because the psychiatrist told me not to take him to a special school. Yeah, because she told me his rate
if I take him to a special school, he'll worsen. And it's very true, because there's a time, you know, as a mother, you try. And if this option wants money and there's a free option, I go for that. So I took, thank you. I took this child to some other facility. They were running tests on autistic children, special need children. I take him there. And they give me a letter to take him to some public schools in Eastland that caters for children like him. So I say, thank God, at least I've gotten a public school. Public is not that expensive.
Yes, sure.
So I take him there and I give them the letter. And they tell me, okay, I also saw it, yes, because the children there are worse. So I give them and tell them I was told to bring this child here. They outrightly tell me that, no, we cannot admit this one. If we admit this one, we won't help him. He'll regress. He'll come back to this state. Yours is a bit better. Kingori, I'm left here with my child again. No school, no nothing. Go back home. The child does not know. See, he is with the mother. So I tell my husband, let's get a private school, even if it's near here. So I think he used to feel like there's no need. This child is not talking. This child is not doing anything. This child is just there. When he wants to go to poo-poo, he does it on himself. I decide to go to another school next there, a private school. I talked to the director. She was very understanding and she understands autism. So she talks me through it and I take the fee structure. This child has a father. I go home, tell him, this is the fee structure. I found a school that can take him. Remember, after I was told from the other school that they cannot take him because his case is not that bad, I started looking for other schools. I left the child home. It's me walking, hoping for schools. So regular schools won't take him because most of them don't have teachers who are for this. So it was no, you come home disappointed. You don't share, because if you share, who cares anyway?
You're walking this journey alone.
Yes. It's my child. Lazima mimi nimshughulikie. So I get this good mama and she gives me a chance. It was a small school. So I felt this small community will be good for him because he needs that attention. Remember, yes, ADHD, the attention hyperactive disorder. So he cannot like sit somewhere and become the way we are. He'll come here and he's all over. And that needs patience. If you get someone who has no patience, they can't handle that child. So I force him and I tell him, let's go to that school. We go. Because now, remember, I've now grown. Yes, I'm not the 21 girl. I'm now grown, a mother of 2. We went. So the teacher talked to us, and he said, let's put the child in the school. The child is in school. Now paying the fee is the problem. He pays this term, the next term he doesn't pay. You know, if you don't finish this term, of course it will accrue. So it becomes huge. Now he sees the fee is expensive. He doesn't have the money. And he's not seeing what those people are doing to this child. Remember, this child could not do anything by himself by the time I was taking him to the school. But now this child can go to the toilet. But then my child went to the toilet alone when he was 5 years, 5 months. That was the best moment for me. I felt so happy. With autism, any small progress to us, the mothers, hey, it's a celebration, man. Because, you know, 5 years and they cannot go to the toilet. It means you have to buy Pampers and you cannot go with them anywhere. So this day, this child has gone to school. After some time, he can go to the toilet. I'm like, wow. I even shared with him. I told him, hey, at last he can go.
Now you're whispering.
I'm whispering?
Yes.
Sorry. So it was a joyous moment for me as a parent, because now my child can go to the washroom alone. He's not peeing and we are done with Pampers. So I share with my husband because I'm happy.
Yes, this milestone.
And he says, that is good. Then the school is helping. So he pays something in the account. So this baby came, he started his fine motor skills started becoming better, because now he could hold a pen or a color and try coloring. Initially he couldn't. They just have a lot of problems, these autistic children. So time went by, and the fear accrued in that there's a time it reached my child did not go to school for an entire term. So what I did to save me quarrels and beatings, I took his number and gave the school director. So I told her, I'm just a caregiver. Just be calling the dad. This is his number. That day I was beaten again. Why did they give out that number? But I told him, you know me, I talk to the school, but I don't pay the fee. You pay the fee. So that is why I talked to them and gave them your number, so that they talk to you directly and you sort it out. Because when I'm telling you, probably you feel like I want money from you. Remember, in all these stories, I'm not featuring anywhere in provision as the wife or the woman. So it became an issue until that child stayed at home.
Stopped going to school.
Yes, yes. So the other one, I usually go to school and intervene, talk to the school and tell them, this is when we'll pay. But he doesn't meet the end of bargain. He does not. He tells me, you go. Like, until there was a day I asked him, why am I the one you always send when such things arise? I've gone there severally. I've lied to them. Whenever they see me, they see a liar. Unaniharibia jina. Weenda. He went. Yeah, because now I was firm. He went and lied to them.
Himself.
Yes. So he came back and told me, hey, that is how you usually feel. I asked him, what? What feel what? Just pay fee. It's not, the schools, by the way, all the schools my children go to, I'm the one who looks for them. Okay? And they're never expensive. Because by the time I'm looking for them, I knew, at the back of my mind, I knew I'm not the one paying fee. He was paying fee. And I didn't want it to be strenuous on him. So I've talked to school A, school B is home, baby B is home. School for baby B needs money from us. So they talked, and I don't know what they did, but I just heard him saying, this child is not going back to that school. They're not even helping this child. Remember, this is the school he took this child and he started even going to the washroom. So I remained with my child at home. I asked him, where do we take him? There are no schools taking this child. He told me, do whatever you can do. He's not going. Kumbe, walikosana na director. Walijibizana, like that anger in him. Yeah, he doesn't care who you are. He'll just tell it to you. If you push him, he'll just tell you anything. So anytime, it was a home school. So if I walk, the director sees me, calls me, Mama Nani, come. What are you guys doing to me? This is a business. No. I go back, take this information. Now I'm quarreled that I'm going to badmouth him with the director. So we sat there with that child of mine. I tried, but I realized he's regressing. I said, no, let me look for a job. Because where we've reached, huyu nimeachiwa. Remember, we're not now going for therapies totally. So I look for a job. And God is good, I get. But now the problem is, a HR checks on this CV. Of course, yes, it's a good CV, but with short durations.
High turnover.
Yes. You know, of course I understand because I've done such a course. I'll be like, what is, yes. And you even explain, but of course they are human beings. But still I got a job.
You are very lucky.
I thank
Rather
God.
you're favored in that area.
I thank God. No, I'm not favored. It's luck. So I start working and enroll this baby B in a different school, because I was told that school, it's the school now that my baby A was in. I was told it has a teacher who understands our children. Actually, it's a parent who told me that in that school is a teacher who helped my child who was like yours. Because remember, now this one can at least say, come, one word, one word. We are now headed to 6 years. So I will go talk to this teacher, talk to her. She tells me, okay, bring that child, I say. I go leave the child in school. Autism, ADHD, my child was all over. She calls me after 1 hour. Actually, it was 1 hour, 30 minutes. Please come for him. We can't. We just can't.
You can't cope.
Now no one wants my child. The only hope I have, or I had, we go back home. So we sit at home. The dad sees him, of course, and I'm on a daily. But it doesn't bother. That is not his problem. But at least that other one, he really tries. Remember, these 2 children are his. Actually, wanamfanana sana. So I ask him, why do you really care for child A than this child? Or is it because this one is different? But the fact that he's different, he's not disabled. We just need to do something to help him. Because hata tukimwacha hapa, it's nothing. He's not gaining anything. The TV is not helping him. It's a one thingy communication. So he cannot even talk. He will only murmur those things. That one I'm putting pressure. So when I got my first salary, I went back to that teacher. I said, I'll go back. I went and talked to her. I pleaded. I really pleaded with her. Then she told me, it's okay, bring him. I'll try. I took him. So he's in a regular school. At least my heart is at peace.
Yes.
So yeah, she tries, then together we worked out a plan. Because now he's not someone you'll put in class with the other students. Of course, he's in the class with the other students, but concentration is not there. But I thank God for him, because he's a child who can come here and do his own things. The teacher is teaching, but he's doing his own things. And you think that he's not listening or hearing anything. Then when you're done saying all that, at his own time, you'll find him repeating everything you're doing at the board. So I think that one made that teacher to love him more. So yeah, she took her time. And then she's a mother. God bless that teacher. And taught my son how to write. And how to color. So she realized my child is so much into painting and coloring. So she dwelt on that until the fine motor skills. Remember, we are not doing therapy. The fine motor skills, his hands were now stable. Then now we came to speech. We tried. At least right now, he's someone who, if you tell him come, he'll come. If he wants something, he can tell you, I want this. One word. At his age.
We made progress.
He did. That teacher really helped. Now problem comes, now with the 2 in the same school, fee is an issue. Now this one has to go back home, the other one has to be in school. I pleaded, I even gave him a breakdown. Now I said, yes, I'm getting some money, but remember there's rent, there's a house girl to pay, there's food, there's fee now. Clothing achana nayo. So I tell him, let's work out a plan. Remember, the studio I told you about, he went and messed up with that guy, wakakosana, studio ikaanguka. Actually, the guy is now doing so very well. He's a mhesh. Yes, he went into politics. And the studio ikakufa hivyo, biashara ilikufa. So I tell him, do this. You, every time you pay the salary, because there are times he's sober enough that we can have a conversation like this. But when money comes in, like I've received it, he becomes a different person. So I tell him, you can take kidogo, just take a little bit of it every month, because a term has 3 months. Pay to the school. little by little. The little I get, like these small pencils, pen, those ones I can try and buy. Then you take up the bigger junk and do it. I'm a woman. Why am I telling him what to do? He knows what to do. That is an issue. Remember, now we are in a very violent area. Like any small thing, he's so agitated. He comes with his stresses from wherever. So I took all that in, and I lost my job again. Because now, it's very hard to also get a house girl who can take care of such a child. So they used to leave. And if you know you're living in a house and people come and they go, people start saying, oh, mama. So I decided to take care of this child by myself. Because even I'm working, it's not peaceful. It's issues after issues. Until there's a day I asked him, do you think what you do in the office is what I do? Because you cannot keep on accusing me of things. Then it means you're doing them. And that's why you think wherever I am, I'm doing them. Hey, nilipigwa. I was beaten. Hey, that one I told my mother.
That was the first time you told your mom?
No, I'd told them initially. But you see now, it reached a point that I felt I'm just bothering my own parents with these marriage issues. Let me just tackle it the way it comes. So beating, I keep quiet. Beating, I keep quiet. So.
And you're still singing in church?
Yes, we are very active. We go to church, we sing. We are okay. Yes. So, but to some extent lately, a few friends of ours started noticing some things. So right now, he's reached a point, the girlfriends are calling him even in the middle of the night. We are in the house with him. I confront him, I'm beaten up. I'm beaten up thoroughly. I don't provide. I don't help him with anything. Blah, blah, blah. So this proceeded, and it became worse as we were approaching end of 2022, 2023 to date. So 2023, 2024 was so bad because it was beating and no provision. If he has to provide, we have to push him. We go to the chief. He's summoned and then he acts. This is someone who has money, because if I summon you and then you act, it means you had that money, but you want to frustrate those who need it. So I even asked him, why would you frustrate your own children? If you don't want me as a woman, I'm an adult, I can go. But this one, these are your children. Pay for them. So he'll act because the chief has called and summoned, pay the fee. Not all of it, part of it, so that the school sees that kuna kitu imekuja. Then comes home and beats me up.
Why?
Why did I go to that chief? Yet he knows that there's that area and he has to pay it. So I tell him the children are suffering. 2023, it became worse, and slowly I sank into depression. I told our people, they are people. He didn't want to meet them. So it's me. I kept quiet and just cry in the house and continue with life. So it was so much on me. I became suicidal. But then again, something hit me that I have a special need child. And I have children. And the bigger one.
You're the only one who is walking this journey with this child.
It's overwhelming. To date it is, but see, I'm the mother. Remember, it's draining me, but him is outside there now, spoiling my name. So that we talked to the aunt. He has an aunt. That aunt talked to us. I thought he had. After that, it became another different thing. So these women are calling him. He's now talking to them when I'm in the house. To date, sometimes he comes home and talks to them when I'm there. So 2023, 2024, last year, one of the girls attacked me. Remember, this woman attacking me is someone that we were singing with in a singing group. Okay? She knows me. And she knows my husband. But she didn't have, there's a time she got an accident in the middle of the night. And you know, in a singing group are ladies. So you can call someone and tell you, hey, nani amepata ajali, so you bring us some clothes to give her. Everyone refused. And when she came, she hated me. Of course, I knew her because she's a member. But she did not like me at all. Even the way she was answering me in that group. And people used to tell my husband, you're the chairman of this group. Can you tell this lady to respect your wife? But you see, someone is in love. He couldn't. Actually, he was siding with that. Until that group, iliporomoka. Because she had fought with some ladies. You're still new in probation, 3 months, but you've already fought with people. But the leader is your person. So he cannot handle this.
They were having an affair?
Yes, already having the affair. It was up and running. See, it's the one I'm telling you, she calls at midnight, the one I'm talking about. So the group, now because people realize, oh, and then this girl also started saying that the chairman wants to marry her. You know how someone can be so excited and say anything? Yeah, so aliropoka to 2 members of the same group. And they've been met severally wakitoka lodging hapa Tao. Yes. And my husband has left me not once, not twice. SGR comes, inafika around 3. He leaves me in the house and goes.
3
a.m.
in the morning?
Yes. See, she's arrived. Yes. So there was a day I now decided, no, you're going nowhere. I locked the door and I took the key. And I told him, tell her you're not going. Because I'm fed up with this rubbish. This is rubbish. I'm just too fed up. So this girl gets an accident in the middle of the night. No one wants to assist her. I'd traveled from Hubby to Nairobi. So my husband calls me. And then I pick. Then he tells me, babe. I'm like, okay. I know how he talks when he wants a favor from me. So he tells me, I want you to come to the hospital. It's a big hospital in Buruburu. Come here. Ask him, what's the matter? You just take an Uber and come. I'll pay. Hey. Remember, I was coming to Nairobi to pay my Uber and go home. Because no one cares about me. It's me. So I go. And I find the lady there. I ask what happened. Now she had a dent here. Aligwarwa tu kidogo. Then they say a car hit her with the side mirror, akanguka huko kwa mtaro, nguo zake zote kwa sewage, everything of hers has mud and water, everything, she has nothing. So we need you to assist her and give her clothing. So right now, my husband could be very honest and tell me, because we've tried calling people, they've refused, they've said they're not around, so it's only you to assist. The good me, of course I know they're having an affair, but my heart cannot refuse to help you. You're a woman. I take my clothes, give her. I had some clean clothes in the bag. See, I was from a safari. I give her, and then I ask my husband again, because I'm not convinced. Ati amegongwa na side mirror, then she fell into the sewage with everything, every luggage, and the only dent in her is here. Because I understand if you're falling down, maybe your hands should go down first. So maybe you need to have some scratches or something. So he just says the same thing. So I question this other one differently. It's a totally different story again. Then I say, it's not my business. So my house is where she won't come and sleep. That one my husband knows very well. Yes, you won't bring her. And the other friend that they had, the wife also said, that woman can't go there. So si watafute malata mpeleka. Mimi nishampa nguo. So we all took her to another friend's home. She slept there. So after helping her, she recovered, because it was not an injury, it was a dent. So that the next day it was a church day. I was in that event, but now she was all over my husband. Now it's like she's the wife. So people are asking me, hey, Stacy, oh, I'm Ruth Stacy. You're just okay the way these people are behaving. They've even taken seat there. They've sat like the way we are sitting. Then I said, let them do what they want. Because now the group members knew what's happening, I mean. So I think from there is when she felt that maybe I'm too soft to be done for anything. Remember with her, she's used to such war, abuses, beatings. She's used to that. Because wherever she was chased away because of such. And that is why she landed this other side. So this day, 2024, I'm in KICC. That I'll just touch Juju. I'm in KICC. It was a big church function, but it's paid for entrance. So she wasn't there. They were not there. That man, anytime she comes, the man does not sleep at home. So now maybe I won't ask you because where I'm coming from and all that journey, I think I grew a thick skin. Because now it's me, and my children. But I'm not just seated there to be provided for. I hustle, but I know how to make very nice peanut butter. So I make and sell. And I'm in some chamas. So I can get money. I have some money. He sees this money, he assumes that I have money. He stops doing what he's supposed to do. We have to push. Okay? When I start doing this, he feels that another man is giving me this money. So I also said, if you feel it's another man, then I won't stop it because I've had an experience. Now I know better. So she comes to KCC at night. Our functions, you don't wear trousers. We are Seventh-day Adventists. She comes wearing a t-shirt and a trouser. So I had left my friend with my bag. So I told her, let me rush to the washroom. I come back, we go home. It was around 6. So when I come back, this girl has also gone to greet other people and given my bag to another woman. So she tells me, there goes your bag, go take. So this lady was standing like this with another lady who had my bag. And it was down. I have to pick this bag from down and stand up, right? So when I was taking this bag down here, remember I don't know these two women. I'm only going for my bag. Okay, this one I know her. She's my husband's woman. But this other one I don't know. The one who was giving my handbag. So they are speaking in Dolu. So when I was picking my bag, let me translate what she says in whatever language. She asked this woman, what is this stupid woman doing here?
Now you.
Yes. So I took my bag and nikaamka kuenda. She slapped me.
Why?
Just like that. So I don't know whether she felt I'm attacking her or something. Because I picked my bag and stood up. And she slapped me. We fought. So, you know, it's a big thing. People are there. So after fighting...
In church function.
Yes, at KCC. That is last year. So we were separated. Because people were there. Including this friend of hers. Immediately we were separated. She calls my husband. And that is what shocked many people. Because if you're trying to say you're not in an affair, why are you calling this man? I think the wife should. And we saw you attacked her. Why? Now she calls my husband. Then my husband tells her, take her to the police. And that is how I ended at the station and trended yesterday. And still trending wherever I am trending. So basically that's it. It is hectic because as we speak, this is week 2. My autistic child is home. He's not gone back to school. He's not been paid for school fees. Ever since the term began and the last year's debts have not been cleared. So the school cannot take him. So my child has regressed. He's just there. Remember, it was an entire midterm break and now 2 weeks down the line. The other one was chased from school before midterm. My child went and sat with boda guys kwa shade. Remember, he's studying way far from Nairobi. I mean, Nairobi is in Siaya. So this child is sitting with boda guys in school uniform in a strange land. I had to look for someone to take that child and sit with them kwa ushago yao. Then he paid a little money and took the child back to school. So the child went back to school with no fee. They're not supposed to go to school. They're not allowed in. He's traveled, let's say 8 to 9 hours from Nairobi. He's arrived and he's told, you're not going to enter. Where's my child going to? It's night. I call the teacher. I request them to just allow him in school.
we are going to pay. Because that is what I'm used to doing. I just have to talk so that they be there. And push this side where they'll do when they want to. Because I even asked him, why do you like doing stuff as if they are yours? You pay rent when you want. Like where I stay, if you don't pay rent on time, they switch off lights, then they'll throw you out. So I asked him, when you feel like we're almost thrown out, why is it that it's when you pay the rent? Why is it that you wait until these children cannot be allowed in school? Is when you act, and you don't act fully. And it's not that you don't have the money. That one I'm beaten because I'm talking. I'm not supposed to talk. So I talked to the teacher. I told him, just allow him in school. Don't bring him back home, because I know the mess at home. My child, the one I'm talking about, knows everything happening in our house. He knows. But I usually try to talk to him so that he doesn't have it in his mind. It doesn't affect him in school. And I thank God he's kind of strong boy. I don't know, but I think because he's also a quiet one like me, he can really keep quiet and keep things to himself. So the teacher tells me, okay, fine, you guys make sure you send something in this week. I started hoping in these CDF offices looking for bursary. I'm still doing that to date, so that my child can be in school and this other one can also be assisted go back to school. I looked for bursaries, but thank God I got one. And priority is the other one. I gave him the priority because he's way far. So I sent it there. Remember, all this I'm trying to do, but the guy says I'm not helping him with anything, not even a dime. The child went to school. It's me who did the shopping. He lied to the child up to the last minute. Like, it's Monday, children are going to school on Tuesday. Monday, midnight, this guy comes to the house 2 a.m. on Tuesday. Like wee hours of the morning. I came home and I went the little I had. Because, you know, if you live with someone, you already know how they operate. So I knew the way he's talking, you'll not do it. So the little I'd saved, I did shopping for the boy. All these little things I do. I'm just a student. But I have savings. So I take the little I do, I sort out what I can sort out. But still to him, I'm doing nothing. So actually even the bursary bit, he doesn't know. Maybe if he'll watch this, he'll see it. But I got the bursary, sent it to school via parcel. So at least I paid something and my child is in school. But the fee is not yet paid. So the day I'm going to court on Tuesday, the school calls me that we are now tired, the grace period is over, your child is coming back. I had to plead with the teacher, please. They told me no. So I told him, call the dad. Because me sina uwezo ndafanya. Nothing. So he called the dad. I don't know what they talked about. But I'd sent that and I'd told them I've sent something. Because remember, I've sent something for him in this one. I don't even know his fate. This one, the autistic one, is supposed to go for therapies. He's becoming worse. He's worse.
It's regressing.
And I don't know what to do with him. Because I know even if he goes back to school, which teacher wants to go back with a child like that? And they are now in school today, tomorrow they are never in school. You have to get an excuse. Sometimes you tell the teacher this child is not well, they're not coming to school, yet you know it's school fees that is making this child be home. So that's where we are.
Why did you persevere all those beatings and such treatments? For how long?
I thought it could work.
How long have you been married?
16 years. This is my 16th year. It became worse late 2022, 23, 24, to date.
And you were persevering because you thought it would work?
Yes. Everyone wants their children to have a complete family. Everyone wants a peaceful family. Everyone wants their children to belong. I don't want this push and pull of children caught, children what. So I thought it would work. Until I realized it's becoming worse daily.
what would you tell someone who maybe they started dating, or they are where you were at that time, they've met, within a short duration of time, they want to settle down?
What I can advise them, you need to get to know this person before you decide to settle with them. People might feel that maybe courtship or dating for years is a bad thing for very many years, but it gives you the privilege to get to know this person, because a lot is hidden in courtship. And my problem, the reason as to why I think I'm suffering to date is I never gave myself time to get to know this person. I only loved and went. So you need to give yourself time, learn them, learn the extremes, their extremes. Get to know, if I push him to this level, what happens? If they push me to this level, how do I react to it? How do they react to anger? Because anger is the major problem here. And anger makes people do very bad things. Because the same anger has made me be told that nitanyongwa, nikufe na hakuna mahali atapelekwa. I usually say that is anger. But you know, the moment someone is telling you that, eventually they'll do it.
They might do it.
Yeah, so take your time. It's never a rush. Never be in a rush.
All right. Thank you so much for your courage to share such a moving story and experience of what you've been going through in your marriage. It takes courage to share such a story, especially where you tell us that out there you are an ideal couple.
Yeah.
But in the house,
it's a different thing.
It's a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be comfortable sharing your contact, because we have an entire family of Tuko, and you know, it's a network, and nowadays your network is your network.
Sure.
So they know someone who knows someone, and maybe can help guide you in getting these bursaries, therapy for your child, so that you don't walk through this journey alone. You are now in this bigger Tuko family. Is it okay if you share your contact?
0729 689 877.
Please run it again.
0729 689 877.
Registered as?
Ruth Opana.
Ruth?
Opana.
Ruth Opana.
Yes, Opana is my dad's name.
Okay. And he's a very good man.
Thank you.
Say hi to him.
I sure.
Yes. And we appreciate your time. We wish you the very best. And yes, we wish you the very best in taking care of your children and yourself, your well-being. By coming to share this story, take away the thoughts that you had to take your life for the sake of your children and even yourself. You have a bright future.
Thank you.
Yes. Tuko family, that's the heartbreaking story of Ruth Amondi. You've heard what she has gone through as a mother, as a wife, and in her relationship and marriage. I am sure there is one way or another that we can walk with her the rest of the journey. My name is Kengori Wangeshi. This has been my story right here on Tuko. And if you're there going through what she has been going through, do not take those threats lightly.